Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb has proposed that 3I Atlas may be some form of alien technology. The numbers have just changed, and with them, the entire story of 3I Atlas. For months, astronomers assumed this interstellar visitor would only skim past the red planet. Astronomers are currently tracking a newly spotted object, likely a comet, from beyond our solar system. This interloper, named 3I Atlas, was first spotted on July 1, a spectacular yet harmless flyby. However, new calculations from Avi Loeb's team and NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory reveal something extraordinary. This is not merely a rock, it may be targeting the inner solar system. 3I Atlas' trajectory is not just precise, it's actively tightening, and its speed is changing. Now, for the first time, the latest data indicates it could actually collide with Mars. 3I Atlas is moving faster than anything humanity has ever tracked from interstellar space, nearly 87 kilometers per second. In practical terms, it's covering the distance between Earth and the Moon in less than 80 minutes. Every hour, gravitational tugs from the Sun, Jupiter, and Mars adjust its path by micrometers per second. These tiny changes become significant across tens of millions of kilometers. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter confirmed that the object's coma has doubled in brightness since August. It also shows strange high-energy spikes in ultraviolet light, which are not typical for cometary physics. The CO2 outgassing rate is far beyond what we see in any solar system comet. Instead of stabilizing as it nears the Sun, 3I Atlas is acting like a guided missile. It's self-adjusting, accelerating, and course-correcting by releasing plumes of gas in deliberate pulses. The new trajectory analysis predicts the closest approach to Mars at just 1.95 million kilometers on September 26, 2025. For a planetary astronomer, that's a hair's breadth. At this distance, Mars' gravity can exert measurable influence. A piece of what would have become a planet in another star system is approaching. And here's a terrifying twist: a mere 10 kilometers per second of additional speed could tip the orbit for a direct hit. Think about that, 3I Atlas only needs a fraction of the momentum SpaceX's Starship uses to change its destiny. And those momentum changes are happening right now, hidden in its tail. Spectroscopy from Gemini's South in Chile has revealed something no one can explain yet. Instead of random venting of sublimated ices, 3I Atlas tail emits gas and clock-like pulses every 17 minutes. These pulses produce microaccelerants in the exact direction needed to align with Mars' orbital plane. No natural process in comet science produces a rhythm that precise. In comets, jets erupt when sunlight hits fresh ice patches, but those eruptions are chaotic and unpredictable. Here, the pulses look engineered, like attitude thrusters on a spacecraft. If the pattern holds, by September 19, the comet will have imparted enough lateral thrust to close in. The remaining missed distance will shrink to under 50,000 kilometers, closer than some Mars moons. One major outburst could then push it into a collision trajectory. At its current mass, estimated at 10 billion tons of heavily irradiated ice and dust. With a metallic core perhaps 400 meters across, a direct hit on Mars would release energy equivalent to 2 million megatons of TNT. That's thousands of times the largest nuclear device ever tested on Earth. The resulting crater could be 60 kilometers wide and 5 kilometers deep, throwing debris into Mars' orbit. This could potentially inject some debris into interplanetary space. And because Mars hosts dozens of active and planned spacecraft, an impact would not just scar the planet. It could also shatter decades of scientific investment. Communications relays, climate monitoring, and life search missions could all be crippled overnight. Inside NASA, quiet preparations are underway as leaks reveal mission planners using the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. They are imaging and tracking 3I Atlas inbound vector. High-gain antennas at Goldstone have been repurposed to bounce radar off the comet's core. The results are still classified, but insiders describe them as unlike any echo we've recorded. They report hard metallic returns instead of soft ice signatures. If these leaks are accurate, 3I Atlas may not just be ice and dust. Its core might contain alloys impossible to form naturally in deep space. This hints at an artificial interior surrounded by sacrificial ice. Professor Avi Loeb and student Adam Hibbard have long argued for a technological explanation. Their new paper, currently under peer review but circulating online, proposes a scenario. They suggest 3I Atlas is a directed messenger launched by an advanced civilization. Instead of simply passing through our system, it would graze Mars to deposit probes or crash deliberately. They calculate that with each pulse of gas, it's not losing mass randomly, but steering itself. It's sailing on its own sublimated exhaust, adjusting trajectory like a spacecraft uses reaction control thrusters. As if to confirm the worst fears, the European Space Agency's Mars Express has photographed 3 small glinting objects. These objects, arranged in a triangle formation, were initially dismissed as cosmic rays. However, they appear in the same positions on 3 consecutive orbits. Could these be scout probes ejected by 3I Atlas in a previous pass? Loeb urges NASA to cross-reference these glints with archival MRO data. If found, it would be the first evidence of interstellar technology ever recorded. This would be far more significant than the Mars meteorites we've studied on Earth. The timeline now looks chilling. September 26, 2025 marks 3I Atlas crossing Mars' orbital path. During this period, the comet's speed relative to Mars will be about 57 kilometers per second. At that velocity, even a glancing strike could vaporize cubic kilometers of rock and eject dust into space. Critics argue no natural comet can change its path by 10 kilometers per second using sublimation alone. That would take more than 10 billion joules of focused energy, far more than any comet outburst we've ever seen. Yet, that's exactly what is implied by the trajectory. This energy gap is Loeb's strongest card. If we're seeing such a maneuver, something is providing power on a scale unknown to planetary science. Possibly fusion or antimatter reactors buried beneath the ice, venting superheated gas as thrust. Meanwhile, amateur astronomers around the world have been asked to submit every image of 3I Atlas they can capture. Some images show the tail splitting into 3 needle-like streams that glow green. Eerie aurora-like gradients pulse at the same rhythm as the gas outbursts. At high exposure, the green beams seem to converge toward Mars, as if painting a path. Even though Mars lies far from Earth, a massive impact could fling debris onto interplanetary trajectories. Some models suggest fragments could reach Earth's vicinity within a decade. If any of those fragments carried engineered microbes or self-replicating nanotechnology, they could infect Mars. Eventually, this could lead to contamination of the inner solar system. The European Space Agency, Roscosmos, CNSA, and JAXA have all quietly convened emergency task forces. No one will say publicly why, but insiders speak of planetary defense protocols. For the first time in history, scientists are openly discussing whether humanity should try to intercept or destroy an interstellar object. The ultimate question remains: who or what is controlling 3I Atlas? Is it a derelict craft from a civilization millions of years ahead of ours? Is it operating on autopilot, or is it a deliberate probe testing our response? We don't know, but the data no longer fits the old narrative of a passive comet. Something about this object behaves like a vehicle, not a rock. By mid-September, every major observatory, from Hubble to JWST, will be focused on 3I Atlas. If its pulses continue, and if it crosses the last sliver of orbital gap, the red planet may witness an impact unlike anything since the late heavy bombardment 4 billion years ago. For scientists, it's the chance of a lifetime. For everyone else, it's a cosmic nightmare unfolding in slow motion. As that nightmare draws closer, the silence from official channels grows louder. NASA issues calm updates, while ESA posts routine images. They know that if 3I Atlas collides with Mars, the implications will rewrite our place in the universe. So as you watch Mars rise this September, remember, above that rusty world, an interstellar object is threading the eye of a cosmic needle. It's pulsing its strange green exhaust, adjusting its path meter by meter. Maybe it's random, maybe it's natural, but if it isn't, if some hidden engine inside is steering toward a crash, then the first undeniable evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence may not come as a radio signal. It may come as a glowing green comet slamming into our neighboring planet at 57 kilometers per second. This would rewrite the night sky and show us we are not alone, and we'll know soon, very soon. So what do you think is really happening with 3I Atlas? Natural phenomenon or something more? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates as the story unfolds.